Hello, everyone on YouTube and on podcast listening to us. Welcome back to Social Intercourse. And today I have Vicky as always. Ranji is still out, but we'll be back soon. But we have a special guest, our first, I think, male co host guest ever. What an honor. Diesel from Mind of Diesel. He has a show on the 20F network called Mind of Diesel. Go check out his show. He'll let us know what it's about because I'm going to be truthful. I've not watched the show yet. Well, I've seen clips, but I have not watched the full show yet. But I have it in my playlist saved to watch. So, hi, Diesel.
Hello, it's my joy to be here. Thank you, lovely ladies, to have me here this Sunday.
Yeah.
Yay!
So
Thanks
you
for
want to
coming.
tell the listeners what is your Mind of Diesel about? I mean, it sounds like you're just talking about what's on your mind, but what exactly is it?
No, because like you both probably been through this where people always ask you about why'd you think this way, why'd you do this, who inspired you, or what motivated you to wear the Cubs hoodie today? What motivated you to do this or to live in Chicago? Or I don't think you live in Chicago, do you?
No.
All right, okay.
Now that's
All right.
another story. We can get into it if you want.
Okay. But it's just like, just asking, people always ask me like, what'd you think about this person? How'd you get inspired by this? So I wanted people to come into a show where I can explain that more. Cause I have a different podcast where I talk about storytelling, but this podcast is more talking about, my mindset and how, I love Kobe Bryant or how I love, Neville Goddard or how I love Florence Scovel Shin. So that show is about just telling the audience about the mindset and how it came about.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so storytelling podcast I'll have to check out too because I am the worst storyteller ever, but I love telling stories. I am the worst timing.
That podcast is a different name.
Okay, what's it called?
Oh my God, you made me think about it.
Come on, gotta be quick. Actually, I'm always slow in my brain. So.
Oh my God.
When he remembers we'll put it down. We'll put it on the link.
I know the name of my podcast. I just couldn't think of it when you asked me. I was like, oh my God, my mind went blank for a minute. So
it happened.
Welcome to our world. It happened to us all the time.
All the time.
But anyway, let me get back. The name of that podcast is Diesel Donlow Logs. So that one is more about me telling stories. People, again, always ask me, how it is studying and how it is doing this. And I just tell them like more of a storytelling way of my experiences. So that podcast is more about storytelling. And that's like old audio, old footage. I think people like that old, like vintage type, content. And I got inspired by a podcast I heard. They brought up like old content from like years ago. People were intrigued by it. So I just felt like bringing in old content and old recordings I did like years ago. And I bring them to the present moment.
Okay. So
that makes sense?
You mentioned Kobe Bryant
sure.
And then two other, Florence, somebody. Somebody.
All her books. So like, at least I know that much.
No.
You read her book?
I am not well read. I am not well read because I cannot retain anything that now world, I am on Adderall now and it's made such a difference. So I feel like if I read something now, I'm going to retain it. So if I watch a movie, I will remember it. So So author. And then who was the second person you had mentioned?
Neville Goddard.
Okay. Neville Goddard. Okay, I'm going to remember them. Kobe Bryant, extremely talented man, a loss to the sport, but he lived in a town near me growing up, and my friend went to his like sophomore soft hop or something it was called back then with him, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, because everybody knew who Kobe was, because we knew he was going to be in NBA, and it was just really cool. And she came back, we're like, how was it? How was going on it as his date? And she's like, I barely talked to him because everybody was talking to him the whole time.
You
a little bit of ego back then too. I am.
Philly?
I grew up in Philly.
Okay.
Well, suburbs of Philly I grew up in. So
What suburb?
it's called Fort Washington. I
I
went
know
to
where
Upper
that is.
Dublin High School. So
I know where that is.
shout out to Upper Dublin.
Yeah, I know where that is.
um, wait, so where are you? You're in
Ohio.
Ohio, you said.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Youngstown.
Freezing.
Yeah, it's
Youngstown.
snowing
Oh,
outside.
are you kidding me? That's where my entire family's from. Both my brothers
Youngstown?
were born in Youngstown. Yeah. Yeah. Both my brothers were born in Youngstown. Everybody in my family was born in Youngstown except me. I was born in Arizona, but that's so funny. In fact, both my parents have passed now, but my brother and I took a trip back to Youngstown because we wanted to see, well, he was born there, but I wanted to see the area. And we like went to the cemetery. Like my family has like this huge plot with like, you know, generations of people in there. And like we went around to the street where they, you know, got married at the church and everything. And that's so funny. I've never met anyone from Youngstown before.
Yeah, I'm from Youngstown.
Are
No,
you born and raised there, or did you move there?
No, I'm from here. I'm born and raised.
Ah.
But
Wow.
what part of Youngstown? Do you know the areas? Maybe you remember?
I do, but not off the top of my head. I'd have to see where it was written down. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I know they're born in Southside Hospital. Is it still called
Southside.
that? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it's not there anymore. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
God.
great grandfather built it.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah, my great grandfather was a contractor and he built that hospital.
Yeah.
So
Youngstown, I mean, we're like a still city, you know, mentality, hardworking area. We really work hard around here. And you know, a lot of people here, you know, it's tough for a lot of people, you know, just because the mentality, you have to have a strong mentality to be here, you know. So shout out to your family, you know, helping out.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
my dad's family, you know, they were immigrants. So they went to the local Catholic church and had to learn English, and they were tough, like through, you know, a lot of like my grandmother sold moonshine from the farm to make money and like that kind of stuff. So yeah,
because it's a still city town, you know, it's real hardworking city. So, you know, you have to have a hustle here.
for sure. Is it cold there
Right.
right now? Is it snowing and cold or no?
Yeah, I was complaining about my dog saying it's cold at 24-degree weather. I don't know what it is there, but I'm sure it's colder.
At least there's no snow.
Much colder here.
Yeah, but
That's
it's supposed to be
interesting.
cold
So
here.
do you think that you know, that sort of hard scrabble steel city mentality has sort of I mean, obviously you grew up there. It's gonna form your impressions of the world, and you know, but you have a very positive outlook as opposed to a lot of people. I mean, Youngstown, no lie, there's a lot of troubled issues there. I mean, there was a lot of like mafia influence and stuff going on back in the day, and it's a hard place to live, and it seems like the people that you are drawn to are very inspirational and very positive, forward thinking people. And I'm just curious as to, you know, is that your nature and you were drawn to that, or was that like something you could just kind of like hold on to and get inspiration from, or like what's kind of led you to that path?
Honestly, I think I always had it. You know, I just always like when you play sports, and I think you two played sports growing up, so or played some type of been in some type of team aspect. Always been like positive on my team, just always optimistic. And then once I like started like understanding like the mindset, you know, I started learning from Kobe Bryant, like his mindset of getting up every day, training hard, you know, putting some work in. So I learned a lot of that. And then from there, I learned like who inspired Kobe Bryant. You know, Phil Jackson inspired him, the Bulls. You know, they talked about yoga, Zen, you know, so I got into all that stuff. And you just listen to what people tell you. You know, if you listen, you can get the information. So I always like listen to, you know, what people said they like listen to and what they, you know, were inspired by. So it led from all those different things. And I've always been like positive and stuff, but really probably the last 10, 11, 13 years, it really came out a lot more, you know, where I made like a brand and made a business about it, you know, and I'm just very grateful. And being in a city like, you know, from what you read is very heavily in crime. One time we were in the murder city of the world, number one. We have so much crime, but I know who does the crime. You know, it's funny. Like I know the people that do it. I don't know them personally. I mean, I know them. I know of them. Or we're one person away from. I can find out who did most of the things in the city. without even like having to like, because I just know when you're from a small town, you know everyone. So in our town, kind of big but small. You know what I mean? It's a big small town, and so we know you can find out in a couple minutes. Everyone knows each other. Somehow, some way you'll find out. So, but I just try to stay away from that. Like, I live in the suburbs now. I just try to stay away from, that type of, energy. I don't want to be in that frequency. I don't want to be in that.
Right.
So I always like stay away.
For
my friends growing up say, "Oh, I'm going to do something." I always did the opposite. Yeah, not doing that. By the way, I love Philly. I love going to Chestnut Hill. I love going to Germantown.
Oh, Chestnut Hill. Yeah.
Chestnut. When I go out there and I do work, I always stay in that area. So I love Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really close to where I was. So I had maybe they still have their business there, some sushi restaurant out there in Chestnut Hill. So
do you go back?
I have not been back in a while. I was just talking to my best friend from high school, and we were talking about how he's going to come out in June to Austin. We're in Austin, Vic and I. So, and then I said, I'm going to have to go to Philly and we're going to have to get a little reunion together or something. So,
Austin,
it's
Texas.
the plan. Anyways, we're going to move on because I want to know more about, Diesel. Are you single?
You put me on the spot here.
Ooh. Is that a complicated question?
No, it's not complicated.
All the ladies want to know.
No, because I know my girl's going to watch this.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
We are one team. We are a team.
One team. Okay.
So he's taken. He's taken, ladies.
Here's the thing. I've been wanting to have a male guest on. We were looking for male guests to come on who are single, well, not single, either single and not wanting to be married or with somebody and not being married, because there was an article we had read about how there's a trend now where men are not wanting to get married. I always thought it was the thing. I always thought it was that way, but it's the opposite. Trying to find a guest, I could not find a single man who did not want to be married. It was all the females. All the females I know, they're like, no, marriage is not for me. All the men are like, I want to be married. I want to have a partnership. What team are you on? And your girl's listening.
I know she's going to see it, so we're working on a lot of things right now. There's a lot of things that I wanted to improve on before I got into that situation. That's definitely on the plate. But right now, I think we're just trying to get ourselves together, get our life together, and build. And that's definitely a goal of ours. But right now, I feel like right now we're just in a place where we're just trying to work on some things that that we had to work on. And right now, that's what we're doing.
All right, that's cool. I mean, because Vicky and I are team no marriage. So.
Yeah. But not team no partnership or
no marriage for anybody.
Together,
we believe in committed partnerships. Just
right.
Because
and one of the reasons why a lot of men said they didn't want to get married was because they're like, well, I worked my whole life and she's going to divorce me and take all my money. And that wasn't that it, Rachel? Was like the number one, which I understand. I do. That's a good reason not to get married.
Of that. A lot of them were afraid because they came from divorced families. So
that too. That was number two, though. I think.
Yeah, I don't know the actual order, but there was also a lot of it was the finances, financial, how to split finances, financial stability, and all that kind of stuff. And I just found that interesting. Because my ex
were always told growing up that there was like, oh, I'm sorry, Rachel, go ahead. I'm going to interrupt you all day.
I just think my ex and I were together for 11 years and we never got married, but we were completely fine being in a partnership. Also, I was living in California, and if you do get married, it's like, I think it's common property, community property. That's the word. So it's like, I didn't want to split anything. He didn't want to split anything. So I think we're just perfectly fine.
What if you guys came into the relationship with an agreement that you know, if we did separate, that you have your half, whatever you want, and I have whatever I need.
Prenup.
Would you go on a
whatever.
marriage like that?
Yeah, so I'm not completely against marriage. As I get older and older, if I find somebody who's Vicky's not sure, but I'm more, I'm like, you know what? At this point, as long as we have an agreement and I have to trust you and we get it notarized and we go to court, we're good.
See,
But
that's the thing. Okay, so if I don't trust, I have a weird thing about that because I feel like I
Vicky, have
understand the
you been
prenups,
burned?
and if I had the
Burned.
money, I probably would want one. But at the same time, why am I marrying you if we got to go into it with this mindset? Let's just not get married at that point. Does that make sense? So that's why I'm kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like, well, then what's the point? Let's just not get married. If we're going to get married, then let's just be completely delusional and think this is going to work and throw caution to the wind. And
Listen,
you can trust me that I'm not going to go for all your money, I guess, or vice versa. I don't know. I have a weird feeling about prenups. I feel like it kind of sets you up for failure. And Florence Scovel Shinn talks a lot about intention. And if I go into something with an intention, I don't want to go in with the intention that it's going to fail and bring that negative energy from the get-go. I don't want to have that escape hatch set up. Let's just not do it.
That's why I don't like signing contracts. I don't. Like, someone sent me a contract. I was like, you don't trust me? Then you shouldn't be doing business with me.
Yeah, I get that.
I get it. Sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
Well, you need it to protect yourself too.
Sometimes.
I mean,
but I
I'm
get
all
that
like,
too. I do.
what's that couple in Hollywood? Goldie Hawn and is it Kurt
Russell? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, together, they're not married. I love that. Like, you can have a committed, loving partnership, lifetime partnership, but you don't have to have that like paper. And I think originally I had been like veto marriage because I was like, I'm not going to get married until there's equality for everybody. Unless everyone can get married, I ain't getting married. And then it just turned into like, I'm comfortable not having to be married. So yeah.
Well, it used to be the financial reverse, right? Especially for women. A, it gave you financial security, and B, you got like tax breaks. It was easier to get loans. It was easier, there were incentives to be married, which I think there still exist, but it's less of an issue for people to, need to do.
Yeah. But I think what Diesel and his girl are doing is beautiful too. When you guys come in with that intention to say that we're going to grow, we have a few more things to do before we but working towards that goal, I think that's great too.
Especially me, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it was my fault, and I take full responsibility for it. So some things I had to grow through.
I love that responsibility.
No, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I had to grow through a lot of things, and so my girl, she real good. We have a kid together, so great mother and all that. So.
Oh, awesome. We'll have to have her on someday.
Lord.
Get her side.
No, let me ask you two.
Watching comment, okay.
Are you guys both in a relationship or partnership?
Right now, currently, no. I don't believe in. So I have this idea of like when I should be in partnerships and when I'm not. If I don't feel financially or emotionally, mentally, everything like stable or sound, I don't believe I should be getting into a relationship with anyone. Unless I'm already in a partnership, you got to work through that together. But I had started a business. So, when you start a business, I feel like financially, everything's a risk. So, and I was single when I started the business. So I don't want to get into a relationship with someone where I'm feeling financially at risk, because I don't want them to feel like they have to take on a burden of like, oh, let's go out. Oh, but you don't want to spend, thousands of dollars going on a trip, or going to a dinner for hundreds of dollars. Okay, I got it. No, you don't got it all the time. I'm not that way. So that's why I'm single.
What business are you in?
I'm in a food packaged good business.
What product?
So
sell it, Rachel.
It is The best product you can ever have. So good for your gut. It's vegan kimchi. And no, not all kimchi is vegan.
Yeah, send me it.
You want me to send you some?
Send me some. I'm vegan, so
I'll
send me
send
some.
you some.
Send me some.
Yeah. Do you like kimchi?
Yeah, send it to me.
Okay, I'll send you some. It's delicious. It's
Send
so
me
good
some.
for your gut. Great way
It
to
is
start the new
delicious.
year.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
Is that carrot
I hope
juice?
that's not kimchi juice.
No, it's carrot, oranges, and a little shot of ginger.
See, that's good. So you're vegan. You're
Nice.
completely vegan. How long have you been vegan?
Wow, I've been on a journey for about 6 years.
Wow.
Call it a
Okay.
journey.
It is a journey.
It's a journey.
It's I've been on and off that
Picked up a couple
journey
times.
since I was little. So wait, what made you want to go vegan?
I wasn't like, I wasn't exposed to it, even though I live in the suburbs and I was out of all white community, I still wasn't, well, maybe I wasn't exposing myself to it. I guess it was there, but I was never looking for it. Everyone feeds you pizza, chicken, like you get your environment. So when I was, what year is it? My girlfriend's mom, she passed away. She was going to this vegan restaurant and she told me about, hey, you need to try this, restaurant out. It's really healthy. So I started going there. I'm like, okay, it's weird. It tastes weird. Like at first it tastes really weird. And then I got used to it and I kept going. I'm like, okay, I'm going to change this, mindset and start doing it. And then really like the last 2 years in this summer, I took it to another level. I was working some job out in Cleveland, Ohio, and this girl was carrying this thing like this. I'm like, what are you doing? What is that? And she was like, I'm juicing. I'm a juicer. I like eating fruits and vegetables. So she's like, you really need to do this. I've been juicing for like 15, 20 years. And man, I haven't got sick. I haven't got, this and that. So I was like, let me try, she's like, this is another level, from being vegan, this fruitarian, whatever. So she was just telling me about that mindset. So I incorporated that and, ever since then. So I would say about 7, 8 years.
I was a fruitarian for probably about 6 months, 7 months. But I have chronic illness. So for me, fruitarian was not good for my health issues. So I was like, okay, that I need to put other vegetables in too. Because I was really only doing fruits because I love pineapples and mangoes and peaches and and then my ex got me into like meat. He's like, I think you need meat. I was like, no, I don't think so. But I was severely anemic and my iron pills weren't doing the job. So I did have to go on meat for some time. But like I said, I go off and on. I started in high school. I was vegetarian, then vegan. And this is like, I grew up, the internet wasn't that accessible to me. So I had to like figure out veganism on my own.
Yeah.
But again, I became extremely ill with anemia. And they're like, you need to take iron pills. I took iron pills, but I was still, so it's always like trying to figure out the happy medium for me because I was an ethical vegan. I did it because I love animals and I just cannot stand animals being in pain for us. But then I also realized, wait a minute, if it's my life over an animal's life right now, okay, I will try to eat ethically. So right now I'm plant-based. I'm mostly vegetables and once in a while I will eat meat for health reasons. But like I always have nightmares after I eat meat.
Yeah,
that's a whole other story.
Yeah, plant-based is, I'm in alignment with that as well.
Yeah. Vicky's like, I ate meat.
No,
sorry.
But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing. Yeah.
It's nothing. See, like, you got people out there that like try to like, man, you got to do it this way or that way, or you're not on my side. Look, you do what works for you. You do what works for you.
Right. And that's what I
Right. And
said,
I,
like, through my journey, you do you.
yeah, right, right.
So Vicky,
And
it's
I've
okay.
tried it. No, I tried, and Rachel knows when we lived in California, I used to drive home past this stockyard when I drive from LA back to the Bay Area to go home see my family, and we'd pass like this giant stockyard with all these thousands and thousands of cows just crying and in their own like pens and just filth, and I just was like, I couldn't eat meat for days after that. I felt so awful, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I can't be a hypocrite about it. So I did try it for a while, but then it just didn't like I just couldn't stay on the
Mhm.
stay on the wagon. I just couldn't. I think for like Rachel said, in a way, I'm more extreme. Like my self preservation took over my empathy
Mhm.
for animals, so I just it didn't work for me. So I had to. And I know there's better alternatives now, but we didn't really have those back then. So there's much better meat alternatives now that I could go to at this point. But yeah, I'm not now.
You know what's
Sorry.
interesting to me is, Diesel, maybe you know too, a lot of athletes turn to veganism to help enhance performance. And that's what I read, that's what I hear. And anytime I'm reading like an interview with an athlete, they say how they went vegan and it's helped them tremendously. And I'm like, what is it? Is it the clean eating? Is it the power of greens? Like it gives you extra energy. But yeah, if anyone's on the fence, anyone watching, listening, and you want to try veganism, do your research. Make sure you supplement enough of the other nutrients that you need, like B12. Normally, you really need to supplement B12 and calcium. And just try it. You might feel a difference. And then if you don't worry. It's okay. No judgment.
Yeah,
Well, not on my part.
I mean, I would say a lot of people like it makes your skin look good too. I mean, like you're glowing, you're feeling vibrant. This is what I see with myself. I can only speak for what I experience. When I'm eating clean, like your body's tighter, like especially when you're training too. You have to train too. You have to do some type of movement workouts. You got to do some
Mhm.
walking, some meditation, some routine, some type of routine that you do where you're taking care of your body. You got to massage. You got to get, you have to take care of your body too. You can't just like take it to the hospital, take it like, how we take our cars to the mechanic to get fixed. You have to do like pre-maintenance on your body, so that's what I would recommend people. Like you have to pre-maintenance like your body to get ready for being vegan too. So you got to start just maybe eating one fruit a day, starting really little,
Slowly.
like really little, and then like start building habits, and habits turn into routine, and you get
What
used
is
to
it, Vicky? What vegetable is it that you don't like? Isn't there a vegetable that you don't like, Vicky?
I can't eat cilantro. Is that what you mean?
it. Ooh,
What
No,
I
no,
don't
no. I
like
know
or what I can't
cilantro makes
eat?
you sick. I thought there was a vegetable you don't like. So
I don't
never
like
mind.
I don't like raw tomatoes. Are we gonna get into this? Okay, here we go. I'm
Oh,
4.
oh,
No,
it's
I
bell
don't like raw
peppers.
tomatoes.
When you see me eating raw bell peppers, you're like, "What are you
I
doing?"
don't like raw bell
So-
peppers. Yeah. I don't like raw I don't have a lot of love for raw vegetables. I gotta cook them. Like I need to,
Okay, so you eat
but
it
yeah,
cooked.
those
That's
those
good.
2 I don't like raw. Yeah, but yeah, like I love tomato sauce. I love like once it's cooked down, but it's a texture thing for me. I hate like raw tomatoes are just squishy and just, ugh. It's a texture thing.
See,
Sorry,
I think they're
but
more
yeah,
squishy when they're cooked. But okay, sorry,
Rachel, I
we
got a
it is.
question.
sidetrack a
But
lot.
it's
Uh-huh.
like I don't eat oysters because it's like snot. It's like this weird snot consistency. And so the inside of a raw tomato has like this snot consistency that just grosses me
That's
out.
true. That's true. Um,
Yeah.
Rachel, I got a question for you, and then we'll go back. I got a question for you too, Vic. I got a
Oh,
question for
diesel
you.
no. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, when you talked about, I wanted to ask you something earlier. You said about Kobe Bryant, this story, because I love Kobe Bryant. That's my favorite guy.
Mhm.
That's my number one muse, or one of them. Your friend went to a dance with him, or was it just
Yeah,
like a?
his
party?
His school dance. Like, you know how you have like prom or something. Was it junior prom or
No, it
sophomore
wasn't
hop?
senior. It wasn't senior because he went with
No, no,
Brandy.
no, junior. I'm saying it was either junior prom or sophomore. I think it was sophomore year though. I think it was like the soft hop they called it.
Okay.
And I think did he go to Lower Marion?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to, yeah. So I think it was Lower Marion soft hop. And I believe it was 10th grade. Yeah. So that's where she went with.
Are you still friends with her?
No, I'm not. I mean, a lot of my friends from high school after I left
Diesel's
high
like 1
school.
degree of separation because then I'm friends with you and you're
Yeah.
friends with her. That's 2 degrees of separation.
Funny how you say that. No, it's funny. No, I went to go visit Lower Marion, and I met with Kobe Bryant's high school coach, and we had like a hour or two hang out, and we were just talking about Kobe Bryant and all this stuff, and I got a chance to like hang out with him and go around the school, and he was telling me stories and stuff like that. So yeah, I was ready with that 1 degree of separation.
I mean, let me go through Facebook and
do it
see if
too.
I'm like, wait, I can always be like, hey. Wait,
Diesel's like, hook a brother up. Like, how do I do this?
I just always ask questions. I'm like, always like, are you still friends with her? Like, that'd be cool. My question to you, Vic,
I mean,
was he nice? How'd he smell? No.
I want to know all those things. No, I'm joking. But Vic, I got a question. You said you read those books I read. You read those books?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
What did you learn from those books?
At the time, that's when I was living in LA, and I was sort of in my exploratory period about the universe and reading things like, what was that other book that was big then? Not The Gift, not The Plan, something like The Code or something like that.
The
Secret. That's it. Thank you. We're into The Secret and all that stuff. And so my mom, so you don't know, my mom comes up on the show all the time. My mom was like Yoda in a little German old lady outfit because she she was into all kinds of stuff and introduced me to everything. And because Florence Scovel Shane was like wrote in the 20s, I believe, or
1920s and 30s, early 30s.
Yeah. And so she's like, Vicky, she read all that books when, before. She's like, you need to read these. And you can even get them then. We used to get them from these like Dover mail order books. This is pre-Amazon because I was little. And she brought me up on those. And she'd be like, okay, here's, and a lot of the stuff that I was interested in was financial, about how to like plant the seed and how, and it's funny now to go back and read them because the information is still valid, but you'll read things like, well, I left a coin here, like a penny on this or whatever. And I wrote this IOU and et cetera, et cetera. But it's a lot about like how you frame what comes back to you, how you put out in the universe the things that you want, how you set yourself up to receive the things that you want or don't want, to be aware of the signs around you and that kind of thing. It really kind of opened me up to that, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm into that stuff, so that's why I asked. So
she's fascinating. She's very like, I like her because she's kind of gentle and she's very sweet and sort of kind. I like kind people. I don't like people that hit you over the head with things that are ideas or trying to sell you a book or obviously she's been gone for a long time. So she's not out to sell like her brand, or not that's a bad thing, but you know what I mean? Like her intentions were pure. Like I think she really wanted to help people, and you can kind of sense that in her writing. She's very, and it's small. They're like short books. It's chunks you can kind of chew on, and you don't feel overwhelmed by like a lot of stuff. It feels very doable, and yeah, read it. Go read her stuff.
It makes me want to go get her book on Amazon.
Rachel, I have them all. You can borrow them from me.
Okay, you bring it to me before you leave for Korea.
Yeah,
Rachel, it'll change your life.
Yeah,
it'll change your life. I promise you, it will change your life.
Okay, I need some life changes, so I'm ready for it.
Diesel, just so you know, I'm broke. So obviously I don't do what I read.
You're not
I need
broke.
to
You're abundant.
practice the things that I
You're
know to
abundant.
do. Yeah, see,
I know you
see, I
got to
need
think
to go back and
differently.
reread them. Yes,
You're
for
abundant.
sure, for sure.
You're
Yeah.
abundant.
So,
Yeah.
Diesel, with your brand, what do you what's your goal? What would you like to see happening, and um just like, what do you envision? What do you envision for yourself?
That's a great question. I just want to change lives and I want to inspire people, just like, Vicky, like, and re-inspiring her to think, like, the mindset, just get her right back to on the path. Like, no, you're abundant, remembering you're abundant, just reminding people to be inspired, to be motivated, to be driven by their intrinsic purpose, not like extrinsic motivation. Now that's good to have, like when you have, Rachel or Vic, when someone say, "Oh man, you're overweight," or "You don't look good," or "You don't look as good as you think," or that's good. Like when you have those extrinsic, motivation, but you want to be driven by, inside. You don't want to have someone like that's good to have. It's like low hanging fruit. You need those on those days, but you want to be driven by that purpose. So I want people to be, driven by that purpose to be their best version of themselves, and I want to do it through creating content like this, working with people like you, books, storytelling, film, whatever we got to do. I just feel whatever I feel like, I'm being connected to, I want to do those things.
I love that. Yeah,
That's
it's
great.
you're really helping people build their own confidence and self-esteem and inner self-worth, which is, yeah, I think it's a lot of it's really hard for a lot of people to. I mean, Vicky, you and I do it all the time too. We're always talking down about ourselves. Well, I talk down about you,
I
and you
know.
talk down about me, and then we talk down about ourselves. But
That's
And the
friendship.
funny
That's
thing
different.
is that yeah,
no,
So
we
we
know
just.
better. But
still, your
But
words are powerful. Words are powerful.
mhm. Yeah,
yeah,
but
and I
I
think, I
know,
think we do help each other. We do encourage each other too. I
right.
think we do help. Yeah. So
But that's the thing. When we're
it's
really struggling, we know that I know, like, hey, Vicky, I know you've got this beautiful soul, and you joke around like this, but you got this. And I think I have too much
vice
self
versa.
worth, so sometimes people need to knock me down. So I need.
Keep it real. But like the world you think is a shitty place, but like it's not. There's people like Diesel. There's little lights, right? And the more lights you put
Mhm.
together, the brighter the glow is for everyone around you. And I think that's so great if you can just kind of connect with your lights, you bring more in, and then you illuminate the darkness and you see there are beautiful things and it's not all darkness. And that the closer you are to the light, the better it is for you and everybody else. So that's great. Like, and don't go towards the light because that's a whole other conversation about death and dying. But surround yourself with and be drawn to people like that. Like attracts like. Don't if you're negative, you're going to attract negative. If you're positive, you're going to draw people to you that want that energy. So be careful with that.
Rachel,
Well,
you see Vicky. Rachel, you see Vicky changing all of a sudden. You see, is she back on?
I know, right?
You see, she's back
It's
on rhythm
Diesel.
now.
He influenced me, and now I'm gonna influence you, and we're just gonna make a big
it's
circle
awesome.
of
I love it.
Jello.
Go ahead, Rachel. What are you going to say?
No, I think that I love that whole idea. It really is just positivity. But my question was, so Vicky, you were saying you like a like attracts like and stay with positive. Well, what if you do meet somebody negative and I have that like, well, I want to bring positivity to them.
Yeah,
Because isn't that what you want to do, Diesel? You want to bring oh shoot. Why is this doing this again? My laptop's gonna turn off. Okay, so yeah.
Maybe
I
we
think
don't
we're
have
gonna have to
time
end
for
the
that
show here.
conversation.
Diesel, we're gonna have you back on because I'm gonna have to end the show here because my battery's gonna die.
Yeah, I'm off the hook. But come back,
Just
Diesel, please. We love to have your
Yeah, we want to continue
male
and
energy
know
on our
more.
show.
let's do it again.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you for joining. I can't even log out. Oh, no. Guys, so I panicked. I made it work somehow, but we'll finish this conversation again. Diesel, please come back on the show again and we can continue and get to know more. I feel like we didn't grill you enough. I need to know more. So we will you guys leave comments for us if you have any questions. Remember to check out Mind of Diesel on 2OF Entertainment. And Vicky, you're going to have a show real soon too. I
Yeah,
don't
if
know
I
if
could
you
ever
want
not
me
be
to.
sick long enough. Yes, no,
Yeah.
it's called Vicky IRL, and it's going to be hopefully this week with
Okay.
shorts, and yeah, well, fingers crossed.
So everyone look forward to that. Vicky IRL, Mind of Diesel, and always we're here with Social Intercourse. Join us every week, and we'll see. Yeah, Social Intercourse, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.